Morning, Rebels, and welcome back to my life. If you are a comic book nerd like me, life is good these days. Marvel's cinematic universe is going strong, the next Avengers movie comes out in just a few weeks, and we've got a slate of regular movie releases every few months for the next several years. Meanwhile, in television, we have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter, and yesterday came Marvel's latest television release, the Netflix exclusive show Daredevil. Because it's a Netflix show, we got the entire first season at once, and while I would love to tell you that I've already mainlined the whole first thing, I haven't. I'm not that crazy. But I have watched the first episode. Alright, fine, I watched the first 2 episodes. I've watched the first 4 episodes, okay? I can't stop myself. I'm watching it right now. It's playing next to the camera while I'm talking to you. Somebody come and help me! So I wanted to share my thoughts so far, a sort of review in progress, with more to come, maybe, when I finish the whole first season. Now, I never read the Daredevil standalone comics, but I am a huge fan of the character. He shows up in lots of other character storylines, particularly Spider-Man, my favorite superhero, and whenever he shows up, things are just kind of awesome. He and Wolverine also have quite a few team-ups, and he was featured in the excellent graphic novel Secret War, so I've actually seen a lot of Daredevil for never having read the standalone series. And basically, the show is doing a really good job with the character so far. For one thing, this is definitely the darkest Marvel storyline we've seen, and I mean that in more ways than one. The actual cinematography and filming of the show is extremely dark, like everything is in shadow, even in broad daylight. It's kind of weird. But at the same time, that visual style makes complete sense. For one thing, we have to remember that it all takes place in the worst part of Hell's Kitchen. This is not a light or fluffy environment. But for another, we have to remember that our main character is blind. He perceives his surroundings through echolocation. The dark and gloomy visual style reminds us that while Matt Murdock can see his surroundings after a fashion, he's still mostly in the dark. That same darkness extends to the tone of the show itself. This is definitely the grittiest Marvel project we've ever seen, except for, of course, the Punisher movies, but that's okay because they were really crappy. Which, it must be said, Daredevil is not. It doesn't quite have the artistic chops of like House of Cards or Orange is the New Black, but it is several cuts above most television shows, including, dare I say it, maybe even better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Because it's Netflix and not a network show like Marvel's other 2 television ventures, they can get away with things that you can't put on general TV, like extreme intense violence and cursing, and shall we say, some skin. I mean, not a lot of skin, let's be honest. If you're looking for female prison shower scenes, this is not the place to look. The violence, though, is the craziest. Some things happen, man. Jeez. The kinds of things that make you physically recoil from your iPad screen, pause the show for a minute, and take a deep breath before you can go on. And that is perfect, because that is the kind of hero that Daredevil is. Captain America and Iron Man and the X-Men can have big, epic battles that are all showy and explosion-y and aliens from another world, and, you know, they're comic booky. Daredevil reminds us that true crime, real, actual crime, born from economic inequality and oppression, is just brutal and violent and messy. And so when Matt Murdock throws on the mask and wades into the fight, getting stabbed and broken and beaten repeatedly, we are able to admire him even more than when the Avengers take on invaders from another planet. Because it's harder to distance ourselves from the reality of the show when it's so real. Also, one cool little side thing, because this is part of the broader Marvel universe, there are lots of references to the Avengers and things like the New York invasion and little flippant references to Iron Man and Thor and so on and so forth. It's kind of cool. On the whole, if you like comic book movies but want something a little bit more adult, watch Daredevil for sure. It is to the Avengers films what The Wire is to, like, Hawaii Five-0. Now there's a byline for you. If you've already seen some or all of the Daredevil show, let me know what you think about it in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, Rebels, and I will see you tomorrow. Maybe. Bye! Just a quick reminder, Rebels, if you want to contribute to the YouTube channel, you can become a patron at patreon.com, or now you can give a one-time gift through YouTube's new fan funding feature. Just click on that little I at the top right corner of the video. See you tomorrow. Bye.